when you hear a child say why, when they enter puberty, that's when they start to do this. They're asking why. They want to renegotiate the relationship between the parent. There is a reason that these people now are not able to stand up to these professors that obviously are teaching something that tells those kids that free speech is not free, that hate speech is not free speech. It had to come from somewhere, and I don't believe people that have money enough to send these spoiled little brats to college honestly would want that. Okay, they earn. They're rich. They're well off. They can afford this. They believe in the American dream. Are you telling me that those parents are telling these children that throw out the Constitution? No, I don't buy that. That has to be in the colleges that's doing that. There's something wrong there. So we can't keep this up. This has got to stop. And it has to start at home. If we're going to fix this, and I ain't going to have kids. This is all I could do. I ain't going to have kids, and probably for the best. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's in your home. It's sleeping in your home. We can look at the Supreme Court and whine and complain all we want, but if you teach your kids right and wrong, things will get better. They will be able to stand up to idiots like that. But remember, you, the parent, you are the first authority figure they're going to challenge. And if your answer back is, because I told you so, and if you get worse after that and start to force more and more of yourself to where they don't have the ability to challenge even you, how are they going to challenge these idiot professors, these friends in the peer groups? How are they going to even know what right and wrong is if you say all these things and then you turn around and you judge people just on their looks, on their behavior? You know, how do you expect them to know what right and wrong looks like when you've done the opposite both ways? You've confused them. It's got to stop, and it starts at the home. It's not going to be the Supreme Court that fixes this. It's not going to be Washington that fixes this. It's going to be you. And by the way, remember, peer groups, the pressure from those peer groups, your child could be the one that starts the pressure on those parents, parentless children, absent children, the ones that are we in the government are paying to babysit children that they gave birth to, and we demand nothing for what they're doing. Those kids don't have a clue as to what's right and wrong. They've seen their parents do whatever they want and have no responsibility. Those kids, if your kid knows right and wrong and will not play along with those people, they can be the peer pressure. They can make the difference. If you want to fight this, fight it at home. Look at your kids. Make sure they understand what's in the Constitution. Read them that Constitution. You will not find it anymore in any of the schools. They will tell you only what they want to tell you. And by the way, the Supreme Court, there's a lot of exceptions out there. A lot that would probably help me, but I'm not willing to take them because I want the Constitution back. Gay marriage is not in the Constitution. The government must treat all the same. You don't. You have the right to say, I'm not playing in this game. I don't want to be in this. You have that right. Problem is, government must treat all the same. They must. But thanks to the civil rights laws that, by the way, are also not constitutional, they were passed. They were allowed to get through. Your Republican Supreme Court is saying, we will respect settled law, which is just a fancy word to say we believe in a living document. Okay? Over time, over 8 decades, we have walled off the Constitution. It's not changed a bit. The Constitution's there. All you have to do is bring it out of the shadows. Remove all of the exceptions. They're like barnacles on the bottom of a boat. If you don't remove them over time, the boat will rot It'll cave in and it'll destroy itself. That Constitution's still there. We don't teach our kids that. We teach our kids that it's a living document or it's settled law. And we're willing to put up with that. It's got to stop. And only we can do it. And remember Berkeley, by the way. I want you to know, 8 decades of the Supreme Court exceptions could be overturned. Roe v. Wade, gay marriage, none of those belong on the books. I want you to remember also, however, this is a different people today. Back then, the exception was made with Brown versus Board of Education. You could make the argument that you could not get an amendment through during that time frame. I understand that. And you could make the argument that because it says in the preamble, we the people, that would include the minorities. That doesn't make the civil rights law the right way to go. You're not going to see, just because you overturn these laws, you're not going to see them going back and trying to fix things. This is a new people. We've grown up. We're different than the people back in the 1960s and 50s. We're different. So that means this country is different. The way we learn is different. All you're doing when you overturn these is you're saying that from here on out, the Constitution is going to be followed. That's all you're saying. That's what's important. When you pass laws that are unconstitutional, they go up in front of the Supreme Court. 5 of those judges are Republicans. They look at it, they say it's not in the Supreme Court, it's not in the Constitution, it's unconstitutional, we throw it out. You send enough of those up there, the Supreme Court sends out the message, not true, they send out the message, however, that it's now a new right. All they ever say is it's not in the Constitution. But the problem is, that's when the civil rights law kicks in. And then you have cases like the cake controversy. And all of a sudden, what was unconstitutional because it was an infringement on personal liberties is now constitutional because we respect, including those 5 judges, they respect the ideal of settled law. The Constitution does not cover the civil rights things. That's an exception that can be overturned. You need to do that so that when this, it's just paranoid schizophrenia. On one hand, the conservatives are being stopped from doing something bad, but on the other hand, because of what they did, the liberals are now able to go and infringe on your civil rights. That's paranoid schizophrenia that's going on. And it's all because you've got 5 judges on there that believe in a thing called settled law. Any new cases come up, they make the decision based on the Constitution. Any old decisions come up, you have to take those into account. And that's where we get gay marriage, where we got abortion rights. That's where we get the problems. It's the Constitution that we need back, and we need Supreme Court people that are not psychedelically looking at the Constitution to find some little word or phrase that allows them to do what is unconstitutional. It's got to stop. Do not look for the solution in Washington, Supreme Court, White House, or the House and the Senate. Don't look at it at the state level. Look at it in your own home. Go to the bedrooms. Look at there. That's what the problem is. If you can teach those kids right from wrong, things will get better. It'll take time, but it will get better. Thank you.